Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories episode number 435 of today radio. The Golden Girls, The Way We Met. A little gold book release. So let's read it down, shall we? See what we got for us. It's written by Derek Elmer. Illustrated by Shane Chelsea, something like that. Based on the episode from The Golden Girls. Excuse me. Published by a Gold Book New York release, copyright 2024 by ABC Signature, All Reserve. Anyway, which makes sense anyway. It was a 2024 book, but it was based on the episode on ABC way back in the 1980s till 1990s. Here we go. Okay. Picture it. A late night on Richmond Street in Miami. Okay? To make sense anyway, even though it's a moonlight. So, there you go with that, folks. It's a sitcom, ladies and gentlemen. Next page. Anyway. The three friends, Darby, Rose, and Blanche, sat around their kitchen table. They just watched a very special, scary movie. Wow, okay. Now none of them can sleep. At least we're not alone tonight, Rose said. There's nothing worse than being wide awake and scared by yourself, Darby agreed. Yes there is, said Rose. Being wide awake and scared by yourself? Well, okay. That's the closest tab, speaking of which. Anyway. Without a double fudge chocolate cheesecake in the freezer. You know, it's a sitcom from the 80s and the 90s. It doesn't make more sense than a sitcom movie difference. You know, to make more sense in any way. Next page. Anyway, soon the friends will enjoy a delicious cake together. I never used to do anything like this with my old roommates, said Blanche. I didn't know you have roommates before us, Darby replied. Exactly, Dorothy. Oh yes, two very joyous old ladies. Blanche explained. I kicked them out one morning. There was once when I first met Rose. Wow. Even though this makes sense, even though Dorothy and Rose and Blanche are going to be making more sense now. It was a Golden Girls difference from the 1980s until 1990s difference. So there you go with that. As I said before, it makes sense. Free up some space here and the Gemini. Anyways, next page. Anyway. Blanche had just hung up a flyer for their new roommates in the local supermarket. Suddenly she noticed a woman with a cat. The woman looked sad. Yeez. Anyway. Are you okay? Blanche asked her, something like that. The sad woman was Rose. Okay? Played by the late Betty White. Okay? The new owners at Rose's apartment did allow pets in the building. But she wasn't about to part with her feline friend, Mr. Peppers. Kind of reminds me of this cat from Sabrina's franchise and this cat from Kiki's Delivery Service. That's what he was. So there you go. So, next page. Anyway. At first, Blanche wasn't sure that Rose was be a good fit for a roommate. But then she watched Rose gave her cat to a boy who had just lost his own pet. Blanche knew Rose's heart was so big, and that was enough for her. I happen to not have a room for a rent, and that name is Blanche Dvorak, Blanche offered. Blanche agreed to move in, but Blanche would have one other vacant room. Wow. And I agree, this boy is so cute in this 1980s and 90s difference. He's now in his 40s. Mid-40s, early 50s. So there you go. To make sense in any way. Next page. Anyway. Luckily, a few days later, two women arrived at Blanche's door. They were seeing her roommate Flyer. "I'm Darby Zorex," said one of them. "And this is my mother, Sylvia, who lives in the Savvy Pines retirement home." Okay? Savvy Pines is a prison. Yeez. Anyway, Sylvia said softly, bumpily, something like that. They heard a doorbell ring. Okay? Even though Dorothy was convinced that her mother had made a bad first impression, something like that, Blanche offered them at the available room. Well, okay. To make more sense anyway, even though it's just Dorothy's meaning to Blanche and Rose the first time, it makes more sense anyway than the way we met book. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, the first test of their early friendship came the next day, when they went grocery shopping together. The new roommates could agree on anything. This one's right, something like that. Dorothy says after she said when a melon and gave it a sniff, kind of the snuffy to snuffleupagus difference. Anyway, "Oh, Dorothy dear," said Blanche, "the best way to tell if a melon is ripe," something like that. This one rep wrong, but anyway, ripe wrong. Anyway, so we'll get it. "With the sovereign method, something like that, you thump it. Well, actually, roomies are the best method," Rose said, cutting the melon and tasting it. "It works every time." Wow, okay, makes sense in any way, even though it's a great melon. So there you go, it has to make more difference in any way. Next page. Anyway, the bickering continued all the way home. There they debated about how to put away the groceries. "Oh, girls, let's face facts," Dorothy finally said. "The three of us can't agree more on everything. I mean, it's obvious we're not meant to be living together." Blanche and Rose nodded in agreement. I don't know what to say next on these three things, to make sense anyway, even though it's a great idea. We'll just see what happens. Next page. Anyway, we're almost done with this book, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, this is exactly what happened during the Grand Hurry War, Rose said. She explained that the war has begun with a disagreement between the two families that control the Hurry, fishing off in the coast of nowhere. The Joy Engines wanted to pickle the Hurry and something like that, and the Lindstorms wanted to trade them for the circus. Well, okay. "Did they ever shoot the Hurry out of a cannon?" Dorothy asked. "Try not to laugh." "Yes, but they shot him into the tree." Wow. Rose replied. "After that, no other Hurry would do it." Yeez. Does that make sense to you? We'll see what happens. And then the whole fish and the bomb over the tree in the head, and this Rose's head. Anyway, next page. Soon the three women were giggling uncomfortably. At that moment, they realized that maybe they could be great friends after all. "Let's give it a shot," Blanche said to the other two at Rose. "Give it a pastry box in the refrigerator." "Wait a minute, what's that?" Blanche asked Rose. "I know it's awful, but I have an incredible sweet tooth. It's a chocolate cheesecake." "Wow," explained Rose. "I think that could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship," Dorothy said, smiling. I know it makes sense to you, but it has to make more sense in the whole TV show series, in the episode difference, so there you go on that. And it has to make more difference in all of this. I sound so quiet in the bits because I heard the doorbell ring in the background, but it has to make more sense in any way. Next page. Anyway, I give some things never change. Dorothy said, after finishing her slice of cheesecake. They sure don't. We almost finished the entire cake, Rose said. "Yeah, it sure what took my friend mine out of the scary movie," added Dorothy. Suddenly Sylvia burst into the kitchen, giving them all a fright. "Ma, that's not funny," Dorothy shouted. Laughing, Sylvia went back to bed. I agree with the whole, let's say, Golden Girls per se, especially the fact that Sylvia was making fun of the rest of the Golden Girls. We'll just see what happens. It makes more sense, you know, that's just me. Last page of the book says this. When the nurse Norby roused my desk anyway. Rose, Dorothy, Bland decided it wasn't yet time to call it a night. I figured I'll have to just one more cup of tea. Bland said, yeah, we can finish the cheesecake, said Dorothy. Anyway, the three women stayed up all night laughing, trading more stories about how they had become friends. And that is a story behind it, so very good at that. Even though there's a great sense of humor between the three comedians, and then there's one other comedian to make more sense in any way. So there you go. B. Arthur, Rose, something like that, and Betty White. Rest in peace to the four of them. So that was The Golden Girls with The Way We Met. When I think about this book, it was amazing. So far, this book was a success. That was Bedtime Stories episode number 435. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned, next going to be the 7-part long Bedtime Stories episode on Mickey Mouse. Now that two of the 1928 shorts were in the public domain, I decided to read 7 parts of Bedtime Stories. And some of them, let's say, the Sorcerer's Appearance, Mickey's Walt Disney World Adventure, and Walt Disney Little Man of Disneyland was already read by me during Bedtime Stories episode multiple times, just one time only. And I decided to read 4 more for the 7-part long Bedtime Story episode. We'll just see what happens. Till next time, suggest Box the Baby, more Bedtime Stories episodes, until say out. See ya.